All right, now let's look at number 16. So we're looking at the limit. First, they ask the limit as x approaches, they say c from the right. Oh, but it's 3 from the right. So I'm going to just sketch this on a number line. Because I'm not given a graph anymore. I'm just told how this thing behaves only by its function. So let's put 3 in the middle. All right, as I approach x from the left, that's like less than 3, right? Remember, your smaller numbers like 2's here, 1's here, then 0, etc., etc. Then got 4 and 5 and 6. So as I approach 3 from the left, it obeys this yellow highlighted rule. As I approach 3 from the right, bigger numbers than 3, but getting close to 3. So as I'm to the right of 3, it obeys this blue rule. The thing about this is you might think, oh, but what if there's an open hole? There isn't an open hole. These functions are just like, they're like polynomial functions, right? This is a linear function. This is also a linear function. Linear functions, what's the domain of linear functions? All real numbers. So there are no bad x's. So we want to know is the limit as x approaches c from the right, but they tell us c is 3. Oh, but c is an x value, so just substitute, in my case, since it's 3, substitute 3 in place of x. So your yellow rule, as you approach it from the left, is, that's the negative one. Oh, but they ask it in a funky order. They ask it as an x approaches 3 from the right first. So I'm going to obey the blue rule first. So everywhere I see an x, like your limit as x approaches 3 from the right, because this is a continuous function of f of 3, is going to be the of f of x, is going to be the same thing because it's a continuous function as the function value, just at at 3, except it's not exactly the same. They don't tell how this function behaves at 3. Like I'm gonna say at 3 point, let's just do 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, right? But it's gonna be the same thing as your function value at 3, because they don't have like a less than or equal thing. So there's that small little qualifier here. So all I gotta do is plug in. If I do f of 3, but for the second rule, I want to do the blue f of 3. So plug in 3, I get 3 over 3, because we're going to replace this x with 3, plus 1, which is equal to 1 plus 1, which is equal to 2, so that's positive 2. So my blue rule, which is my approach from the right rule, says that my limit is going to be equal to, as I approach from the right of 3, it's going to be equal to 2. That's your first part. Okay, my second part is asking as I approach 3 from the left side, I use my yellow rule, because that's my less than side. Well, I'm following a different rule here, because when x is less than 3, they say follow this rule. But I'm still just going to substitute in f of 3, but this time it's the yellow f of 3. So it's the f of 3 with the yellow rule, which is equal to 1 minus x. But I'm going to substitute in place of x. I'm going to put it 3, so it's actually 1 minus 3, which is negative 2. Ooh, we got a different value here. So as I approach 3 from the right, I use blue rule, it's positive 2. As I approach 3 from the left, it's negative 2. That's interesting. Those disagree. Your left and your right disagree, so that should give you a little hint. All right, if your left and the right disagree, what does that tell you about your limit in general? But I'm going to plug this in. That's your answer to your second part, is negative 2. So as we look at our limits, as we approach from the right side, says positive 2. Left side limit, as x approaches 3 from the left, says negative 2. Left and right don't agree. When your left limit is not equal to your right limit, what does it tell you about your limit in general? It does not exist. The limit doesn't exist. So the answer would be C. So just to review, your left limit, obey the less than piecewise rule. Your right side limit, obey the greater than piecewise rule. And then if they agreed, say they both said, left and right both said it's 2, then your limit would be 2 in general. If they both agreed at negative 2, it'd be negative 2, but they don't agree at all. If they don't agree, left and right don't agree, limit doesn't exist.